Good morning, dragons. It's Miss Garza here, one of the instructional coaches. And today I'm going to be reading you a story called Merry Christmas, Mr. Mouse. And while I'm reading, I want you to see if you can try to figure out what the gift for the teachers and staff is going to be today, as we are counting down the 12 days till Christmas, which is really just the 12 days till winter break. So let's see if you can try to figure it out. I do always like to read the dedication page when I'm reading. That's usually where the author, the illustrator, writes a dedication to someone. And it says, "For Mr. Joe, who's as handsome as a bus and as clever as a tractor." So I absolutely love that simile that they used. I know a lot of you guys are studying poetry and figurative language, so I thought that was perfect. Once a raggedy little alley mouse heard an encouraging tale that a warm spot beneath a kitchen stove had just gone up for sale. So Mr. Mouse moved off the street and settled in under the floor with his dear wife and 17 children in nook number 24. Mrs. Mouse gathered sock fuzz for bedding and crumbs from cracks in the floor, while Mr. Mouse found the best passageways as he went out to explore. Ooh, look at all those 17 mice children. One day as he ran, he saw something new and stared in puzzled delight as an evergreen tree was brought inside and covered with twinkling lights. The house smelled of ginger and peppermint as Mr. Mouse sniffed the air. He peeked out if trays of cookies were baked in the kitchen just upstairs. Mr. Mouse and his wife watched the gathering of family and friends that night with dancing and singing and games and gifts, everything merry and bright. Mrs. Mouse whispered, "Why light up a tree? Why dance and give gifts and sing? What does this night, why is it so special? Can you find out why they're doing all of those things?" So Mouse crept up by the fireplace and listened to the story of shepherds and wise men and angels streaming glory. He learned that that night long ago was born the Lord of the earth, and the lights and the songs and the giving were to celebrate his birth. Then he heard about how Santa's checking his list of the naughty or nice, and he wondered if Santa Claus had ever had to bring gifts to a family of mice. Mr. Mouse quietly crept back downstairs and told what he had heard above. "All that fussing upstairs is for Christmas, and Christmas means joy and love." Then Mrs. Mouse smiled. "I've a grand idea, and this is just what we'll do. We'll put up a tree in our own little nook and celebrate Christmas too." Not a creature was stirring late that night, except for Mouse and his wife, who were putting the finishing touches on a Christmas made for mice. Just to be safe, Mr. Mouse tied a bell to the neck of the sleeping cat, then scurried from room to room to borrow a little bit of this and a little of that. He dragged everything back to their little mouse hole while humming a Christmas tune, and busily worked to set it all up, and he transformed the room. A small sprig of pine and a bit of string made a perfect Christmas tree, and the glow-in-the-dark star at the top shone brightly for all to see. A cute little tree. Mrs. Mouse had been sewing pajamas, the first pair for everyone. Mr. Mouse brought down scraps of bright paper to wrap them when she was done. They covered a matchbox with tin foil to make a table for treats and gathered up piles of gingerbread crumbs and candy cane bites to eat. Mr. Mouse whistled. "It's time to begin." The children poured through the door. They'd never been such excitement before in Nook number 24. Get their cute little house, their cute little mice house. They danced to the tune of a music box and then played musical chairs, hide and go seek, and a round of charades, just like a party upstairs. Mrs. Mouse passed out all the packages to joyful cries of surprise. When the children saw their pajamas, they couldn't believe their eyes. They ate all the crumbs and sang Christmas songs, and then by the firelight, Mr. Mouse told the children the story about the first Christmas night. Each mouse had a miniature stocking to hang on a little hook, just in case Santa Claus knew about mice and found his way to their nook. Mrs. Mouse and the children went to bed after the cleanup was done. Mr. Mouse fell asleep in his chair and did not hear Santa come. Oh no. He woke up all of a sudden on Christmas Day to his children's shouts of glee. Each stocking was stuffed with a chocolate chip and a little piece of cheese. Then Mr. Mouse saw the box at his feet, and Mrs. Mouse had one too. Inside was a top hat, shiny and black. She had a soft scarf of blue. Mrs. Mouse gave a kiss to Mr. Mouse. "A Merry Christmas, my dear. I have an idea and hope you'll agree. Let's celebrate each year." There's always a party at Christmas time, and there's one underneath the floor where Mr. and Mrs. Mouse celebrate in Nook number 24. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the book. You'll have to ask your teacher tomorrow what the surprise was. I think they mentioned it maybe once or twice in the book, so it was kind of a hidden message. But hope everybody has a wonderful Monday.